Hello, this is Tom Stiles, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And I got a request to show some old radios, which I have probably 30 or 40 big radios like this one here. I'm using this one because it was the easiest one to access besides the Collins radio, which is up in my office. The one I have in my office, like I say, it's a big Collins radio, but it's amateur bands only. It's not a wide band, all shortwave receiver. It's the amateur bands only. This is a kind of semi-restored, not back to original Collins R-388. This is a rack mount radio that was used mainly by the military. It belonged to my father-in-law, who gave it to me, oh gosh, 20 years ago, and he's long since passed away. And he got it from an individual that he worked with at a power plant in Georgia that they were building. He was electronic technician that put in the instrumentation. And one of the people that worked for him heard that he was interested in shortwave listening. He's not an amateur, or was not an amateur operator. And so he got that. I don't know what he paid for it. And the gentleman that had it before him apparently had access to a machine to make these labels. And I guess all the original writing and labels had worn off. So the gentleman replaced it with these little plaques that came out real nice, but again, it's not original. The meter here I don't believe is original. It doesn't look original. It is working, as you can see. I think I'm on China radio on the 9 megahertz band, and I'm using just a long wire, or some people call it random wire antenna that's outside. It's about 25 feet long, and then it's brought in through coax cable into my workshop. I'm down in my workshop, and it was the same antenna that my father-in-law used for this radio, and it does a pretty good job. And it's just a long piece of wire is all it is, nothing special. And it's 8:15 in the morning, and like I say, I think this is China radio. It's starting to fade because the sun is up. I don't know exactly where this transmitter is, so I don't know if it's close by or around the world. I don't know. But I did want it to show some of my old radios. If I can get up, I can pan up a little bit and show you some more I got in this particular area. There is an original Hammerlin. I think I got this at a Hamfest. It's all original. It works pretty good, but it's old radios need to be realigned, and it has not been realigned, so it's a little deaf. So I don't use it too much. I don't attempt realignments anymore. I just don't have the patience. I wish I could find somebody that did, because I have numerous. Like I say, I probably have 30 old radios like this, and most of them, with the exception of that Collins there, need a realignment. And then down here we have another old Hammerlin. This is a SP600. I don't remember where I got that one either. Had it a long time. So those are kind of a smattering of the big old radios that I have, tube radios. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have about a dozen here in my workshop. And of course, they take up a lot of space, and I would move them to my storage shed where I have my other ones, but I can't pick them up. They're way too heavy for me to pick up. Some of them weigh 60 pounds. I mean, they are mammoth. So anyway, this is kind of a smattering of my big radios. Of course, and I'd have to kick the camera loose from the tripod to show you. Maybe I could show you a little bit of it. But right there, right here, is my ICOM 706 that when I was on the amateur radio bands, that's the one I used. Very convenient and does everything you'd want. I really like that radio. So that's the show for today. I could maybe try tuning a little bit. And let me zoom in now that I've focused in on this big guy. There we go. I was surprised that it came on. Normally what you want to do on these old radios that have set for a long time, you want to use a variable power supply and slowly bring up the voltage in case you have some bad capacitors. Well, it took me half an hour just to get an antenna hooked to this thing, and I go, I'm going to go for it, and I turned it on. It's working fine. There's some noise in some of the pots. The audio pot was very noisy. I had to play with that, but it started working. There's another station. One thing about this old radio, like I say, it doesn't, I don't think it needs alignment, but that surprises me because it is old and it's been sitting for 15 years or more. So it probably could use an alignment, but it receives as well as any radio I have. It's got this big, this is the fine tuning, I'll call it. It only has one tuning knob, and in this dial up here is your main selector, and you choose the band using this big guy here. I don't know if it shows up, but the shortwave band, I think, is broken down into, I think, 31 bands via this selector here. So you get real fine tuning. And then you use this knob to tune in, like this right here. This band is 9.5 to 10.5, so it's 1 megahertz. So yeah, that would mean 30 megahertz, so it would be 30 or so bands. Just see what else we got. That sounds close by. Let's go up to 10 megahertz. Ooh, there's our religious buddy. He's always booming in. There's 10 megahertz. Starting to fade in and out. It's 8:20 right now in the morning here in Florida. Very easy to tune. This radio is very easy to tune. It does have, let me turn the volume down. It does have a BFO over here, and then a BFO tuning knob, so you can tune single sideband. So it does have single sideband capability. It has an antenna trim pod here, a zero adjust for the dial here, RF gain, selectivity. These are different filters you can tune, you can put in and out, phasing, again, to try to fine tune the station. It's got a meter, a calibration, internal calibration oscillator, AVG on and off, automatic volume control on and off. a noise limiter in and out, the audio gain, the band changer, and that's about it. And that's about it. And again, this is a Collins R-388 URR, which I think was the military designation. I might be wrong, but I'm looking down under another table and I see two more I didn't see before. Yes, I have a lot of old radios. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please give me a thumbs up. Bye-bye.